Hello, everybody. It's Svavar Knútur. I'm trying out a new type of streaming stuff, um, and I trust in your guys' feedback to let me know if this is working. I'm just real quick checking if all the streams are up live. Is anything? No. Um, so I'm really happy to be kind of getting back on my feet with streaming and stuff. I've been trying out lots of um, good projects like the Global Music Match and which really sparked in me like what I want to be doing right now through this. Oops. Okay. I forgot. Okay, I forgot to put this on. Let's start again. So, guys, here we are. That's it. Um, Great to see you guys. This is Svavar Knútur. I am I'm going live now on a thing called StreamYard, which is like a new thing I'm trying out, and I don't know how this works, and I'm really looking forward to see if it works really well. Getting back on my feet with the streaming after having done the Global Music Match, which was an awesome project that made me really like inspired, pulled out the best in me, and really inspired me to try to expand this streaming experiment to make more, you know, inclusive content, like do a lot more interviews, do a lot more communication with other people, other artists, try to connect more, and just remind ourselves that we're living in this interconnected world. And I'm really happy to see that so many of my artist friends are really excited to be part of stuff like that. And so if you are seeing this, that means it's working. But I'm really happy to bring to you for this first of my new heart-to-heart sessions in 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 this new stage of the COVID situation, but also we'll get into discussing that in the rest of the video. A man who has been such an inspiration in my life and also really was really influential in pushing me to improve myself artistically and getting better at being a human being and an artist, and really helped me put my career on a new track as an artist. And his name is Brett Perkins, and he is an American-born but Danish, living in Denmark, singer-songwriter, amazingly prolific, amazingly like the amount of work he puts in, the amount of just the sheer level of engagement, how many people he is always getting on board with lots of his projects and co-writing and festivals and stuff is just mind-boggling. And he's been a huge influence on me. It's professionally and artistically, and I want to welcome my friend Brett Perkins to the stream. So here we go. Let's try this. I've never done this before, so let's. Whoa! There you are, man. Hey,
I feel welcome.
Looking good.
Looking good. Yes.
I really hope this is working. I really hope people are engaged.
It seems to work. I'm going to see if I get taller. If I sit, no, it's my chair. I'd have to get up higher. See, it's the screens. It's always like I look up to you too. So right here, I can do that like that. Like that.
Cool. That is amazing. So you can. I'm trying out all these like things. Like look, BrettPerkins.com. That's your banner now.
Hey,
right here.
That's it.
So Brett, you're living in Copenhagen.
Yes.
When did you moved?
I first came here in '97 when I met a Danish songwriter and followed her home, as I often say. I met her in Ireland, and then we toured back and forth between the States and Denmark. And I quickly found out that Denmark was not only an incredibly beautiful, part of the world. I've always been a Europhile, even growing up as a small child. I wanted to live in Europe. It was in my mind as a child because I like to read explorer books and things like that. But then when I came over here, I realized it was also the best paying country at the time. And I think it's still true, although things have dropped with the world economy, for songwriters, for performance royalties, for radio, for mechanical rights. I mean, it was just, it was the rainbow, the little kingdom, the little fairy kingdom that Hans Christian Andersen wrote about. And it still is to me. And I've been living here full time officially since 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, wow.
16 years.
That's 16 years.
Yeah, and over 20 from the start.
What I love about Europe as like in Scandinavia, of course, being one of the most beautiful examples of European culture is this. It's not an all or nothing mentality when it comes to art. You can actually have quite illustrious career. You can be a creative person, live a creative life, and you don't have to worry about either you have nothing, you have everything. You can have like a nice middle class life
which they call, at least in Denmark, I'm more familiar with the system, but certainly throughout the Nordic countries, a social welfare system, which is a positive thing. But as you've probably heard, if you've seen it, or if you've been unable to avoid the American political commentary, the word social, that's socialism, and that's a slippery slope to communism, and that we're all going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, it's this either or mentality. It's very damaging,
Yes, yeah.
It's not productive at all.
We've seen that. I'm sorry, I'm adjusting my pillow. I want to get on the sit. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's so much better.
Oh,
I feel tall again. Okay.
Such a nice chair.
You could just raise your chair. We could do this subtly throughout the event.
Yeah, just like sliding down. Yes, so.
Yeah, so Denmark is a wonderful country to live in. I've said that it's also, I'm a father of an 11-year-old daughter, and I would not have been able to say yes to that idea where I was in my life, were I in the States, because of musicians like, the idea in the US is there's no ceiling. They often talk about, there's no ceiling, and that's true. People can really, but there's no floor. That's the problem. And so people fall down and they can't get back up. And
I like frameworks.
Yeah. Basic, decent human frameworks that provide health care so that people don't wait to go to the doctor until they're horribly advanced in illness and pain, which ends up costing the system more if you want to actually run the numbers, but it doesn't make it for a good political blip in a speech.
A lot of the time, like, people will like accuse people like me of being like communists, like blah.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, and say, you just hate people being successful. And
I'm
like, dude, like, I don't like your first yacht, your second yacht. I'm fine. Your first apartment in New York, like by Central Park. Your second apartment in Singapore, and that third one in Melbourne. Bless your heart.
Yes. God, now, if you're hosting house concerts on all those apartments, for songwriters,
it's that fifth yacht.
Yeah.
It's like, then I think, like, we could buy a couple of schools for that. We could fund a lot.
I could see you writing
hospitals.
a paper on this called the Fifth Yacht Syndrome.
Yeah. It's like, when you have your fifth yacht, then you're just a hoarder.
When is
There's
enough
nothing
enough?
sexy about being a hoarder.
No. When is enough enough? Yeah.
Like these people that just like can't imagine their lives without making $1 more million. They're just hoarders.
Well,
there's people living up in the projects in Iceland, like old ladies that have garbage bags in their apartments.
Yes.
And people have to come and like clean out these apartments because these ladies have hoarder syndrome. And there is no difference in the mindset. It's just economical difference.
And the economical difference with people who have I think it was Warren Buffett who said, making your first million, I don't always quote Warren Buffett, so here you go. To paraphrase, making your first million is the tough part. After that, your money makes money for you.
Yeah.
And this is, there's also that saying, hey, money doesn't matter. And it's usually people with plenty of money who say that. So, of course, we all need some level of economic security where we're not living out of desperation and then we can act in a constructive, a communal, collective, positive way. But if I'm desperate to feed my child, if I'm a refugee, I will steal food. I will commit acts to protect my child or to feed my child that are on a primal level. I'm just going to go primal. And so we force people into these behaviors and then judge them as immoral or low class or second class citizens or whatever. Just the term third world has rankled me since I first heard it as a kid. I said to my mom, "Isn't it just one world?" I thought it was just one world.
I felt that like I write best. Like I am at my most creative when I'm financially secure. When I don't have to worry about where my next, if I can pay rent for the next month.
Exactly. Yeah.
If I can feed my kids.
Yeah.
If that's under control, I can allocate some time and mental energy into writing.
Yeah, the starving artist is I think I remember it was a romantic idea for me. Like it'd been romanticized, kind of a Rolling Stone mythology around, the wandering songwriter troubadour, and you got holes in your jeans and you're writing songs from your heart. And your third cup of coffee, you've been stretching all day. Well, I kind of did that for a while. I got broke. I've been really, really broke twice in my life. And I'll tell you what, it's not, I mean, I learned a lot, but it's not a creative period because all your energy goes into keeping the basics balanced, and it's not good.
But you certainly found your path. You found a path to both being creative and being very, very supportive of artist communities. You founded the Copenhagen Songwriter Festival, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2009.
You filled quite a gap there, and it was because of your influence and of your hospitality that I was invited to come and play the Copenhagen Songwriter Festival and participate in your listening room retreat
at Brøndby Hotel, beautiful Brøndby Hotel on Samsø.
Beautiful. That was
what a group we had. Oh my God,
island, Samsø.
I remember when you wrote the song with Marcus from Faroe Islands, the duet where you sang in Icelandic and Faroese, remember?
Yeah, the Tåkan, which became the song of the year in Faroe Islands.
Oh, wow. That was
They won the award for that. We won an award for
that. Yeah, super.
And it was, I think on that island, I wrote like 3 or 4 songs that all have been on my albums and have actually mattered a lot to both like my career and my family, like Tåkan, The Curtain I wrote there.
I remember The Curtain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Eva Hillered.
Yes.
And I wrote another song on the ferry on the way back with Helle.
That's great.
And Helle, since I've worked with Marius again.
Yes.
And Helle, and I meet these kids all the time. And Sarah,
that's it. They're going everywhere. That's what happens. Yeah.
And I met with Sarah Maja over Markkonen, Sirovsky.
Yes. Yeah.
We wrote a song together now called "The Tide Is Rising." So
you sent me the link. I got that a few weeks ago. Uh-huh.
And I mean that's just like one instance.
One workshop. 1 week.
And it's had such an effect. And I was so skeptical of co-writing. I was always very skeptical of these things. And all of a sudden, there I am, just like learning so much about myself, letting go of my ego. I think that's one of the biggest parts, like most important lessons I learned there, just to let go of the ego. And we discussed this earlier on a forum.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a saying, you teach what you most need to learn. And I've been dealing with my own ego, my own artist fears, my own economic balancing, my own, finding an authentic path through this work of leading the retreats now for 20 years coming up. In 2022, it'll be officially 20 years, but we'll really be in our 21st year.
Wow.
And I say we because it's a collaboration with now thousands of writers from over 35 countries, I think. I'm close to 40 countries now. And then we're talking about Asia now. And interesting.
It's amazing. And just the sheer participation and the people are so you know, engaged, and so many connections being made. I mean, you make friends for life doing these.
Yeah, people do. Yeah, it's a peak experience, and there have been several marriages. There are actually children on the earth now, not conceived at the retreat, but who came through. I mean, hey, I don't need to know. Collaboration has many levels, but certainly marriages that came out of the retreats, including both of mine.
Yeah, that's
actually.
amazing.
Yeah, and my daughter, actually. Yeah.
I mean, and just so much, and also it just increases the confidence level of artists, you know, to participate in stuff like that.
Well, my friend, your friend Annika Phelan, who was on that retreat, uses the term breaking isolation, and it's a very accurate term for, you know, we're all in our little artist world, and it is a risk to say I'm going to go to some remote place with a bunch of people I haven't met, and some American guy, you know, from the 60s, oh, hippie dippy, oh, well, you would like that, but you know, it's gonna put us together and give us prompts and have us write. It's like, well, this is my personal cathartic, emotional, spiritual experience. I don't know if I can share that with someone. It's a really valid concern. And then you get there, and because of the way it's structured, and because, I mean, I invest my energy in creating a safe space and a communal supportive experience, and people just, they blossom, and it's like you meet your extended family, you meet your musical cousins, the odd man and woman out in most of the families, you know.
And you've been very productive as a singer-songwriter. You've been very, yeah, a lot of music has come out of you in the last 20 years.
Yeah, I had actually 40 years of recordings now.
Yeah, that's just amazing.
Yeah, my first single was in 1980, a blue vinyl single that you could see through. But it, you know, the vinyl's cooler than the songs that were on it at this point, looking back. You know, but.
I can see. I'm sorry, man. I can see that the chat of the video itself on Facebook is not coming through. That's all right. That's fine.
Okay.
Because I think the StreamYard doesn't, like, it can't receive chats from. If I make like a special see something link.
Okay.
But I think the chat on YouTube and on Twitter should be fine, or Periscope. Well, that's it. I'm just exploring the technology of the whole thing.
Oh, I'm loving this, going with you. I was just hired by LIPA, the Liverpool Institute, Paul McCartney's Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts, LIPA, I was supposed to do a master class there on indie career and inspirational talk, and it got rescheduled twice. The first time Ozzy Osbourne took the spot, and the second time I had a family scheduling conflict and I couldn't go. So now I'm going to do an actual one of these, you know, with the students. So this is good for me to explore this technology. So I'm following you.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, like, I'm just looking at these things from the perspective of also this COVID situation has really shattered the confidence of a lot of artists, and made people a little bit timid, and self-esteem issues and stuff, because you can't work, you can't be doing the things you love. You know what?
Well, I think there's been a cycle. Not with any other extreme measure, they talk about the 4 stages of grief. And I certainly, I mean, I had them. And I'm not going to get these accurately because it's just coming off the top of my head, but I know that within there's denial, like, okay, this, you know, and we've seen a lot of that, people who still are in denial and they're still protesting and saying this isn't real. I haven't gone there, but fear, I definitely had fear. And then there's a sense of powerlessness. And then there's anger. And I certainly, as a performer, it was like, I can't do this. And people are streaming every day. And it's like, that doesn't feel, you know, streaming doesn't feel real. I want to be in the room. It's so important to feel the people in the room. And I went through a whole, like, I call it my fallow period, or my sabbatical this year, where I didn't pick up my guitar. I didn't write these songs. I read books, which was great for my head and for my lyrical development. I watched a lot of series and movies on Netflix and all that. But now I got to the point where I embraced the change and said, okay, instead of bemoaning what's gone, you know, I'm always, again, teach what you most need to learn. I'm always advocating non-attachment to outcome and be with what is, you know, but hey, No Buddha Brett over here. So I was freaking out, and now I'm like, now I'm into it. And now and because I'm enthusiastic, I see possibilities where before I only saw limitations.
I was talking to a group of people earlier, a couple of days ago on Zoom, doing kind of a Zoom concert slash, greet with some parents from a school, and
That's really cool.
I kind of got down to the idea that we've been approaching this situation as if it's a temporary thing, right? So everyone's holding their breath the whole time,
Yeah. When's it going to get back to normal?
Yeah, and while you hold your breath, it's just gonna demoralize you even more.
Yes.
And I came to the conclusion we need to accept this as the new normal until that changes, so we have to accept this as a temporary, permanent situation.
Well, it is going to change, and I am not a pessimist at all. And yet, first of all, this didn't surprise me in the least. I mean, just look at the number, COVID-19. There were 18 before.
Oh no, that's the year. It's the year.
No, but there were different various COVID like SARS and the others that they thought would be pandemics that didn't happen. There's been Ebola. There's been, I mean, I realize there's not. There have been all these. Oh, that's good though. We should do a show on. Oh, we are. There are so many pandemic potential issues because of, and this is not a surprise to the people who study planetary population movement, mega cities, mega farming. The way that we have stewarded or poorly stewarded the resources of the earth, and so I read an article recently from a respected immunologist who said, 2020, we're going to look back in 10 years and say that was the good year. Now, he said, I don't want to be a pessimist or an alarmist, but unless we radically change how we're dealing with food processing and all these issues, environment and climate change. I mean, this laundry list that many people are still in denial about on a global leaders amongst them, including current leadership in the U.S., which hopefully will change within 2 days. It is the new norm, and so and it's going to shift as well. So
exactly. So Brett, the Copenhagen Songwriter Festival and your listening room retreats are just like two of. You have so many other projects. You were telling me about Idlewild Songwriter Festival.
Yes, that's my favorite little mountain town of 4,500 people in the 2 hours out of LA in Southern California. It's high pine forest, gorgeous, and it's just amazing. It's very special, and it's an arts community filled with painters and sculptors and musicians. A lot of people from the music industry who. Jolly Parton had a place up there. I mean, it was like but it's not posh. It's very just low key. They don't allow any chain stores. There's no Starbucks. There's no chains of any kind other than a Shell gas station. Wow. And there's nothing more than 2 stories. And the mayor it's an unincorporated city, so the mayor is a dog. It's a golden retriever named Max, and he is a politician. He shakes paws. I'm not kidding.
Oh my God!
It's my kind of town, baby.
Only in America, man.
Yes, only in America, and it's just a wonderful place. I went there as a kid, and I fell in love with it. So I do twice a year. I do a festival and a retreat there. Yeah,
but it does sound amazing, though.
Yeah, it's great. Now all the retreats are now connected to festivals. So because I thought that was the next natural step. Most people, we come together, we write these wonderful songs. And then it's on me. It's my job to put on a showcase. Now, when you first joined us, we had the Copenhagen Songwriters Festival. You had a featured spot, so you had a really good, launch of whatever you wanted to introduce. I know it was an amazing experience for me as well. On some of the other retreats, we were in a remote location. We have local people, 10, 12. Sometimes we outnumber the locals who come to the concert because we're not on their radar. We're not Eurovision or the soccer team playing on that night. So when I create a festival, however, the public sees a festival as a higher interest potential value than a singer-songwriter night of a bunch of people you've never heard of.
Yeah.
so, so now it's Tuscany in Italy, of course, Galway, Idlewild in California, Copenhagen. I've linked to the festival. I'm now on the board of directors,
Heidi and the
the
Tuscany
advisory
Songwriter
board.
Festival.
Yep. And then I've linked my retreat to the Arctic Sounds Festival in Greenland, which is an amazing experience.
What?
Yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
more to come. As soon as things, now of course all this stuff stopped this year, almost all of it. I did my last retreat until a week ago. I did my last retreat in January in Idlewild, and then March, and March was the Tuscany Festival launch and the retreat for that year down, and then Copenhagen and Idlewild in June down, and then Copenhagen in August down, and then Ireland in October down, and then I just did Copenhagen because Denmark's done a very great job of managing the. I know Iceland is highly praised as well for managing things, and so I was able to do a scaled down version just with local people, and now fingers crossed, California in January. But these festivals, here's part of the growth and adapting to what is. Charles Darwin, the man famous for species and how the wrongly quoted as the strong survive, the strongest always. He said it's the most adaptable that survive, actually, and I find that much more encouraging. So the festivals will be streaming festivals if I will book them and plan them. But if the law says no, you can't gather, then I will do as high quality streaming event as possible. So again, this technology is really, really exciting to me now instead of my enemy.
I mean, for example, what I ran into when I was doing these living Zoom concerts, and I'm going to do some more in November. For those of you watching, they're already on my webpage. Oh, let me see if I can do this.
I gotta check that out. See if you can bring up your webpage.
SvavarKnútur.com.
I'm making a note now to look at your webpage.
Let's see what happens if I do. Check this out, yo. So
Nice.
they're available for now
That's
for
great.
tickets. But
That's great.
let's focus on Mr. Perkins though.
Okay.
So you were also doing one in Galway. Is that Scotland?
No, that's Ireland. That is the West Coast.
Ireland. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
guys. Sorry.
I'm of my Irish blood, but we do the retreat. I've done the retreat for 19 years on the smallest of the three Aran Islands, just in Galway County, off the coast, in this year. And there's a beautiful theater there. There's this old cannery factory that was repurposed as a theater through some EU cultural funding. And it's incredible. And major artists play there in the summer, but we're there in the autumn. And again, it's kind of the locals are like, well, we might go down, we might not, And so I thought, okay, we do a house concert every year in Galway. We have every year. So I thought, why not extend it for a few days? Because most Americans and others who come to Ireland, it's a place they've really wanted to go to for a long time. Because if you're a songwriter, it's like, a Mecca visit. I mean, Nashville and Dublin would be the two of the main songwriter places to go. So I just thought, let's extend it. And I was booking tours already for people who stayed on. So now I found a beautiful theater in Galway. And Galway's a town filled with college students and all this culture and wonderful traditional music. And it's just, I love it. I get to go to really great places.
So Brett, just curious. Are you? I don't know what the tech situation is on your side, but are you able to play a song for us?
Oh, I can play. Did you say tax or tech?
Tech
I thought you said tax. I thought you were going to ask me about
taxes. Yes.
What is your tax situation?
Before we go further, I want to thank my Patreons. I got some patrons on Patreon that
great.
Really, their support is what keeps me able to kind of experiment with all this tech and not focus. Like I just say, okay, this week I'm gonna basically focus 5 hours or 10 hours or something on fixing my tech and maybe buying some kind of little equipment to make things work.
Cool. And they help you out.
So thanks to my wonderful patrons on Patreon. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah, it's every little bit counts. You know, when
Oh,
when people
no,
are still drinking.
absolutely. Well, the festivals, the first festival in Copenhagen was all volunteers.
Volunteers are the best. I mean, they're amazing.
Yeah, and the listening room open stage, which is now run. I turned both the festival and the open stage into nonprofits here, so I could go on and do other things after being the guy on the head of it for so long. And that's been running. It's every Sunday in Copenhagen, and people can come and play. And it's got sponsorships, and it's got great lighting and sound, and all house keyboard, house guitar, all that. They've also paused during Corona, but they're coming back starting again this next Sunday. And that's all volunteers. So it's the way to go, in my mind.
I think so.
Yeah.
I played at a festival in Normandy in France, where they absolutely that's like key. That's completely key. All the these old ladies, like old librarians and bookshop workers that stop working, they are so good. They're so amazing at that. But okay, Brett, would you like to play a song for us?
Sure. And I'm wondering if I should take now. See, here's a technical question. I would be playing. It'll be coming over the mic of the laptop. That's fine. I wonder if it'll be strange to have this in while I'm hearing it. I mean, you can hear my guitar?
Yep.
I'll try it with this on.
Yeah. I'm going to remove myself now.
Okay.
All right.
Someday, love, tell me all you're dreaming of. If we both believe enough, they can still come true. Take my hand, show me that you understand. Life is more than all we planned until our time is through. It's been so long since I wrote a true love song. Felt my heart beating strong as it does for you. Someday soon, you and I will leave these rooms, grant ourselves a greater view on all that's gone before. Take my hand, I'll show you I understand. Life's more than all we planned. Still I plan on you. Someday, love, tell me all you're dreaming of. If we both believe enough, they could still come true. If we both believe enough, they could still come true. If we just believe enough, dreams can still come true.
Absolutely beautiful. Thanks, man.
Can you hear the
Wow.
guitar and the voice? I don't know if it's
Oh
okay.
yeah. Sure.
Good. Okay.
That sounded remarkably well.
Good.
You know, thinking it's coming from a laptop.
Just a laptop. Yeah.
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 You wanna? I'm gonna be making. Wait, I'm gonna just do one thing. Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. I just turned my mic into a kidney rather than an 8.
Okay.
So I'm going to be doing a workshop in Iceland in a couple of days where I'm going to be teaching other artists like basics of like streaming, like good practice sound, video stuff, which is I think it's going to be like a fun, just a pro bono thing but I really want to like help people get stuff like this, you know.
Sure. You're
like,
enabling them to have a better way of communicating and getting themselves out there. I mean, it's critical.
Yeah, it's completely so important. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a trick here, just to get. No, yes, like this. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. There we go. I'm just hold on. Something might go wrong for a second.
Okay.
So, but yep, there we are.
Oh,
So this
look at
is
that.
now
Wow.
we're on my phone. There you are. Hey man.
Hey.
Dude.
Hey.
So I'm gonna make myself bigger. Just for a second. So that's my laptop here, and this is a Clementine that I just.
It's a Clementine. Very nice.
Very healthy.
I'm a darling Clementine. Yeah.
So there we have just a really nice Aston Spirit. I'm not at all supported by this, and this is my little webcam that I use to capture this area right here with a vacuum cleaner.
Nice. Yes, with a vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
It shows you're a real person.
It's very important. I mean, vacuuming your apartment is
yes, it's on my list today.
It's a huge part of keeping a clean and safe environment.
Absolutely.
But so basically from the mic, it goes into this little mixer here.
Cool. Yeah.
And just like this one line goes out of that mixer. This is the main out.
Yeah.
Goes into this little thing here for the Focusrite. Yeah.
I'm laughing because Magali has the same basic setup here in the other corner. I'm just not using it because I'm still a little technophobic, and I also didn't invest the time in having her teach me. So
yeah,
but she's got all this stuff. This is cool to see it.
It's almost like muscle memory now because I've been doing this a couple of times, and now it's basically it takes me 5 minutes to put this up from scratch.
Yeah.
So this goes by USB into here, and this goes into my Ethernet, which is really important. And this goes into the camera here.
Great.
This is my old computer. It's still working fine.
Right on.
So basically, this is the most basic setup that I could make. Like I'm always trying to reduce everything. Down
minimize.
To completely fundamentals.
Yeah.
So this is one channel, one mic.
Yeah.
Mono.
One man, one channel, one mic, one man. Svavar Knútur.
But it's because of the mixer. It's completely expandable. Like it can grow, which is really. Okay, so I'm going to change back to this. Hello.
Hey, and while you were taking that tour, I got a notification that of someone in Iceland, Iceland, at the Akranes Lighthouse.
Oh yeah, Hilmar.
Hilmar sent me a link, and it's Oscar Gudjonsson, and he's the first guy I met from Iceland.
Oh, the saxophone player.
Yes, because if it's the same Oscar Gudjonsson, I don't know how common that name is. It certainly wasn't to me. But he had entered the Unisong songwriting contest in 1990, I think 97, the year it was started. I started it with Alan Roy Scott and David Stark from Songlink magazine, and it was songwriters, a song contest made by songwriters for songwriters, and we raised money for Amnesty International, and that's how I met this guy in Greenland who had cool stuff and said, "Yeah, you should come to Iceland. You should come to Iceland." So,
man,
small world, yeah.
And as you know, I'm working hard on bringing you over.
Yes.
When the COVID pandemic.
Yeah. Well, Icelandair has been very friendly with me moving my flights around. They've been really easy, as opposed to say United Airlines, which has been a trauma experience.
Yeah, I mean, they've been so accommodating to me as well. I had a,
Yeah.
a tour planned last March and April and May, and
Mhm.
all of the tickets they just gave me. They just gave me like credit.
Oh, that, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's, I have credit, but here's a little tip for songwriters or anyone, in fact, who's planning to travel right now. I used to use only like Expedia and these other sort of consolidators because it was the cheaper way to go usually,
Hmm.
which is proving not to be the case. I'm finding that buying direct is now, I don't know if that's a change in the market because they're all competing now, but what's happened is because I have credit through a third party, good luck getting it worked out. I have
Yeah.
spent hours and hours and literally hours. And then I think I fixed it. And then 2 days later, the main airline kicks me out, and says, nope, we don't accept the deal you made. So it's been I'm going to buy direct from now on, no longer through consolidators. That's my tip
I
for the day.
I usually use like consolidators to find like good legs, you
And
know.
then, yeah, and then then you
Yeah,
try and find it.
yeah, exactly. I go to the web page of the
Smart.
airline.
Yeah, that's
But
good. See, there's another great tip.
then one tip I would love to give to people that want to travel and play in Europe is just
Yeah.
buy the Eurail or Interrail ticket.
Yes.
It's much more practical than driving or flying.
Yeah.
You're always much better off.
With gear too. I mean, it's so much easier. Yeah. And you
Yeah.
see more of the place. You see much
Yeah,
more.
you get to get around, and you are always downtown. You know, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. They drop you right in the center.
I've always been so flabbergasted that people fly from Nuremberg down to München, and
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah,
is a 20-minute flight,
yeah. I
and
know.
it's an hour on the train.
Yeah.
But after the flight, you have to get through the entire
All the
airport,
security and
and
all that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so
That's not
that
better.
adds 3 hours to your journey.
And if you have a guitar, you're dealing with the whole carry-on stuff. Oh,
But like,
yeah.
why would you fly? Why would you fly this? It is.
Jeez.
Why not just like have a train station on either München or Nuremberg airport,
Well, and
which
it's so
takes
nice
you to
when you
Nuremberg?
get to the central stations in most town. They always have the most colorful characters. There's usually a lot of people saying, "What do you need? What do you need?" From
Yeah,
that.
but man,
Yeah.
so I love that, like, because you see so many people getting depressed because of COVID and blah blah blah, but so many musicians that I know are just like, I think it's been 6 7 months of not being able to work for a living,
Mhm, mhm. Yep.
completely, and we're just so used to, like,
Yeah,
like,
we're good. We're pretty good at like we're road warriors. We're
yeah.
used to the
I
sleep
guess
now.
because I don't meet many artists that are completely thrown off by this. I mean,
No.
most artists that I know are really just like seeking ways to, I'm
Yeah,
gonna cope
yeah,
with this, figure out
yeah,
a way,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
There's a survivalist. Yeah, it's true. And I'm going to say I want to qualify that, um, not to counter what you're saying, but I would say in the U.S. There's more. There's been more. I've seen more difficult stories because you have, for example, these stimulus packages that have been trying to help people, and there's been a federal ruling that no one could be evicted for lack of ability to pay rent, and rent couldn't be raised. Well, those laws expire. I think they're coming up or they may already have, and so people will be evicted. I mean, then you're back to that. Oh shit! Can I say oh shit on? Okay. What am I going to do? So, yeah, but we are an adaptive creative. I mean, creative people. Well, I think everyone's creative, but performing songwriters we're used to being like, okay, I'll juggle this ball and I'll do this thing. I'll do a workshop and then I'll do a gig and then I can play at this baptism and then I'll go over here and eat a sandwich on the way. So, yeah.
yeah, I mean, and we're used to this adversity.
Yeah.
We're used
Yes.
to
Yeah.
kind of having no money for months
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and like not knowing what's going to happen, and I think that it gives us a bit of a edge on this.
It does. Actually, I would say, earlier when I mentioned being broke, seriously broke twice in my life, and and still not on a level of people who are destitute and desperate. I mean, I never went truly hungry or anything like that. But in my own layer of comfort, I was far below what I was used to. And once you survive it the first time, you've got strength, you've got inner strength. You know that, oh, that's not going to kill me. So and most of us have had the gig get canceled, or all that stuff. And
yeah, and like lots of like adversity. We're not strangers to adversity.
No, not strangers to adversity.
Oh, Brett, I'm just gonna get my guitar. There was a request for a song that I know has stolen.
Excellent. I'm having fun. I hope you all are having fun.
Yeah, keep them talking, Brett.
Yeah.
Keep 'em talking.
And I'm looking forward to hearing a song from Svavar. I might put in a request. I figure out how to do it without him seeing me. Can I do an anonymous request?
That's cool. All right, Brett, I'm going to move to the other camera because I have like 3 cameras.
Oh, you are the dude.
I'm the dude. Such a dude.
That's a nice painting.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
It's beautiful colors.
This is also one of my favorites.
Oh yes, you had that behind you when we did our festival.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if I sit correctly, it looks like she's giving me a massage.
That's great.
So, there was.
I like you.
It's a sense of humor is such a big part of the whole thing. Having a sense of humor about life and
I mean, a day without laughter is that's just not, it's not enough. That's why my mother used to tell me, I thought it was a compliment. She used to say, you're your own best audience. And I thought she was complimenting me, but in fact I was just laughing at my own jokes all the time.
But that's good. It's good to be able to laugh at your own jokes.
Absolutely.
If anyone's going to laugh at them, it should be at least you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like playing.
Is this sounding okay?
It sounds very nice. It sounds very warm.
Yeah. This Aston mic, it's just, I'm in love with it. So I'm gonna
take me off screen.
Take you off screen for a while.
Yes. Okay.
There we go. So this is a song called Clementine, and it's a request for a friend. Oh, my darling Clementine, how could I leave while you were sleeping? Oh, my darling Clementine, I couldn't bear to hear you weeping. You tried to teach me right from wrong, you tried to burn off all my bad ways. But misery's a stubborn friend, and she persists in spite of good days. So I sailed from your white sands on a ship of broken plans, and your face was on my mind, oh my darling Clementine. Oh, my lovely Clementine, it's such a hell to be without you. My soul tormented every night, and every day I think about you. I adored your fullest charm, never meant to do you harm, and your pain was on my mind, oh my darling Clementine. La 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 my precious Clementine, I never dared to look behind me. All this time I ran and ran and I ran aground, and I pray you'll find me. And with all the bad I've done, I realize that you're the one. And I hope you'll still be mine, oh my darling Clementine. And with all the bad I've done, I realize that you're the one. I'm such a fool, will you be mine, oh my darling Clementine. I'm such a fool, will you be mine, oh my lovely Clementine. I'm such a fool, will you be mine, oh my darling Clementine. I'm such a fool, will you be mine, oh my lovely Clementine.
Yeah.
Hey. Well, I realized I forgot to mute you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was singing harmony.
That's all right. All right.
I was
Let's
doing
get the
it
camera back
quietly
here.
in case I was still live.
That's all right. That's all
Yeah.
right.
Just
That's
putting a little
cool. Like
third on top.
that's part of the whole. Like this is organic. This is.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the whole thing, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that here's one really nice thing that I've been working on with this. The reason I use like a mixer instead of like plugging the mic right into the Focusrite
Yeah.
is that I can control, for example, reverbs and gains and stuff, and mix before it enters
Nice.
the computer. So
Yeah,
this
okay.
reduces the CPU load
Mm-hmm.
on the computer itself.
Mm-hmm. So you don't get squished.
Yeah,
Compressed. Yeah.
And also like it doesn't lag. It doesn't go.
Yeah.
Like,
The streaming.
because- yeah, there's like I've noticed like if Logic, for example, if I'm using Logic, which is a really good program, but if I'm using it to control the sound. This is my daughter Emma.
Oh,
There you
hello,
go.
Emma. Can I say hi? Hi, Emma. How old are you?
Nice.
How old is Emma? She's tired.
She's fine. She's they just have this thing where when I'm doing
Yeah.
a stream, they
Yeah.
kind of
Come
bail
in.
a little bit.
Oh, I
you know,
see.
to give Dad space, but like when the streams are long, it
Yeah, I understand.
they get cabin fever.
Yeah, Leva is 11, my daughter. So she'll be in. She's not here today, but she's at her mom's. But she would be in the other room right now, and she's really good about not disturbing. But she'll send me texts because she knows my phone's off, and it'll say, when this is over, you're taking me to McDonald's or something like that. Because I usually I have a tendency to underestimate the length of the thing I'm doing. I'll say, oh, it'll just be a few minutes. You know?
Oh yeah, and then it's like 2 hours. And
Yeah.
Like, oh, where did the time go?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's a chat. It's a
Yeah,
talk. It's free
It's random and
form.
free form. Yeah. Well, I was in the studio yesterday. I'm still buzzing from it because I could barely sleep last night because we're recording 3 songs with different musicians for the Pawn Shop Preachers' next album. And if I can go into this for a sec, it's
Sure. Pawn Shop Preachers,
I
and
finally
just put it on.
I finally figured out a concept for the album because for me it's important. Okay, first of all, the idea of an album I know is antiquated, but for me, it's still conceptually an album, even if it's released online, even if it's not physically, certainly, not vinyl, although vinyl's making a comeback, or a CD, or a download card. I still need a concept. So I finally got the concept, which is Back to the Source, which is the title song on the album. A song about looking back at your own history and where you come from and how that's influenced you. So that's the title song. But then I realized the album is filled with songs that are from different eras of musical influence. So it's 10 tracks from all the different, not all, but most of the different music I grew up listening to. So yesterday we started with a gospel New Orleans funeral march song.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. Then we moved to a 70s funk tune. Amazing. And then the last song was a country song, and we're putting it out as a single next week. It's called Corona Christmas, and I could play you the chorus if you like.
Sure.
It's just, you can stay with me. It's just, let's see. Is it G? Yeah. Corona. Oh, that's high. Let's see. Christmas. Da, 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 da. That's it. Okay, got it. We'll have a Corona Christmas in the year 2020. Practice social distance all around the family tree. Even sanitize the Santa hanging from the old chimney. On this Corona Christmas, staying healthy as can be. That's the chorus. So much fun. I mean, it's just, we're going over the top, you know, with the jingle bells and all the stuff.
Yeah, it's just about having fun. It's about, you know, having a sense of humor about the craft and the art and what you're doing.
Well, and a humorous, well, the Preachers are mostly humorous songs. And I found, even though they come more freely to me, I mean, I'm not less invested in them, but I did so many albums of sort of my serious, soul-searching, self-reflecting singer-songwriter stuff, which, I mean, is still important to me, and I still write songs occasionally like that, but I'm in another place in my life, and so the humor that comes through, I get to be this little guy laughing at his own jokes, you know, and double entendre in country is wide open.
You know, like when you've gotten a lot of the pain off your chest.
Yeah, you don't want to.
It should be a natural thing that you don't wallow.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm 58. I'll be 60. It's so strange. It's just a concept. I'll be 60 in 2 years, less than 2 years, you know, and it's like whatever that means. I saw a quote the other day, a meme that said, "We are our energy, not our age," and I thought that totally resonates with me. So I'm having a blast doing this, and it's just country Christmas. I mean, and I co-wrote it with my daughter, Lena, who's 11. We were riffing on the lyric, you know, we were totally riffing on this idea, because I said, I have this idea. And she goes, "Oh, you could say something like, it's bad for business except for Amazon." And I went, "That's great. That's got to make it in the song." So there's a line about that.
That's great. It's just so great when you can involve, like, it becomes like family arts and crafts. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, she's got a mama who's a songwriter and a daddy who's a songwriter and a grandma who's a songwriter. You know, it's pretty steeped.
It's also like, I love to divorce myself from this idea that a singer-songwriter should be my profession, and I should approach it as the only thing that it
right.
is. It's
Your
like
singular identity.
Work identity. And instead of it is my existence. Like it's in everything I do. It's music, and I love making it part of my relationship with my family, with my kids.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, it's a lovely thing that you can. I've seen this with a couple of actors mention it, but the idea that eventually, I used to aspire to this, and I didn't see how. I heard what they said, but I couldn't see what they meant. That on stage, off stage, the same person appeared. Like you. It's seamless, you know. If I'm talking on the stage, I'm still having a conversation like we're having, but I'm having it with a different group, you know. So they're not this persona or identity that you have to keep in place, which is so exhausting and so much a part of, I think, so much media, social media. Certainly, I watch it in my daughter's generation about, you know, the right kind of, all the girls turn their head a certain way and go, you know, and push up the lips. I mean, all this kind of stuff. And the guys do the pose. I mean, I did all that stuff too. It's age appropriate posing, posturing. It's in the primate world too, if you observe. But it's nice to be able to just let that stuff go and be yourself. It's so freeing.
Oh, hey, there's a question. What does it say on the poster behind you?
Oh,
Carolyn was asking.
Do what you love what you do.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, it's a painting, actually. Yeah, and then let's see. Over on the other side, we have framed black guitars. That's my first guitar that I've had since 1980. Wow. My Ibanez. Yeah, and it's mostly on the wall because the one I'm playing is much nicer. And there's the Dan Electro from my rock and roll days.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So. Awesome. Oh man,
Thanks for the question.
Yeah. I'm trying to follow. Like, there's a couple of comments on.
And you know, you can't see this, but there's only one of these in existence, but this is the Brett Bubblehead.
Oh no!
Hello. Yes.
That is so cool. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Cool? One of those little silly things I bought off the internet.
I'm going to show you what I did.
Okay.
I can't wait. I can't. You had it made?
Yeah. What's he going to show us?
You know, like the situation is, you know, like I found a lot of interesting creative outlets.
Yes.
You know, so I've been I went all in on creating like these little
oh, puppets! Like Svavar puppet.
like
Oh,
they fell apart a little bit, but it's easy to put back together. The
Yeah.
hand is missing though. The hand is supposed to. Yeah, there it is. How handy!
it's in the bottom of the box.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Hello.
There you go. Oh, give me your hand.
It's very Halloweeny.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna put it here.
Super.
So like this is basically was the prototype Svavar doll.
Very nice. Very nice.
Hello.
Hello.
Playing a song, and then he would be like.
You play a song.
Right.
That's great.
Oh, he goes like this. And
Yeah,
he's got this
and the eyes move and everything. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Like, la, la, la,
Yeah, nice.
like, do, do, do.
Yeah, yours does a lot more than mine, and probably cost less too.
Oh, but like the beautiful thing about this was my kids actually picked up on this so much, and they wanted to play along. And
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Leva picked up on me having a bubblehead, and then I got one from Magali as well. And then she said, "Where's my bubblehead?" So hopefully she's not listening because I ordered it a long time ago, and it's coming for Christmas.
Shit.
I'm sure she's not listening. She's not here. She doesn't. You know, she's interested, but she's at the age where it's not cool to say that she's that interested in what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
You know, I show her a song. You know, I'll show her a song. She goes, "Well, it's not really my thing."
But wait, so can you like order these? What is there a
Yeah.
site on the internet? Hold
There's
on.
several of them. You just all you have to do now is just Google bobblehead, BOBBLE head, and there are several.
Is it one
word? Bobblehead. They're mostly
gonna-
China-based, working in plastics and things.
All
Yeah,
right.
I know. It's not an environmental.
So they 3D
sound.
print this for you, and
Yeah, I don't know. You know,
It's interesting stuff, though.
yeah, it was just a silly moment, but I'll tell you what, I've had so much pleasure out of it, just like bringing it into a conversation. Sometimes I just talk to it, you know.
That's all right. Well, Brett, do you have one more song for us?
Sure.
Maybe
sure.
one of your one of your maybe a co-write song where you've written with somebody or something
Yeah.
from the bottom of your heart, or
Yeah, from the bottom of my heart. I got a bottom of my heart song. Yeah.
I love those.
Not that I don't have some lovely co-writes. I just didn't come to mind right now. See. Oh, we need to
I'm
come
gonna go
down.
running later. That's a beautiful day.
It's gorgeous. I saw that. We have the sunshine as well. I was happy to see you're having it too. Yeah, good for you with the running. I'm a
running is amazing for keeping
It-
keeping mental health going.
Yeah. I started, actually, that's been one of the things with the pandemic is I started to, at first I was like, I don't want to go out. And I thought, okay, this is not working. You know, so I ride my bike quite a bit, where I go for like the 10,000 step walk, the 5 or 6 kilometer walk around the city. And it's a great city to walk, but also to bike. And I like to bike fast and use my little bell in the bike lane.
I don't like that. I like
Okay.
real slow.
Nice. Well, we could go. I suppose we could. I used to be a long distance runner, but that was another time, another set of knees.
Oh, yeah. You love bicycling.
Yeah.
Wow. What's the song called?
It's called For You, and I wrote it. It was on the Danish Weather CD that I put out in 2003, I think. And I wrote it when I was leaving Denmark. The relationship that brought me here was over, and I didn't yet have any residency rights, so I was only here as a tourist, as much as I could be. And so I was saying goodbye, and also I realized I was saying goodbye to Denmark, and this song just kind of showed up. So it's a love song for a specific person, but also for the country. And fortunately, it's worked out that she and I are still on good terms, and I'm still here. So
beautiful.
sometimes songs come true; they can be prophetic. and not
wait
just
to hear.
pathetic. So many times I've run right back to you. So often sought your shoulder. So many years have worn right through these shoes. So sorry that it's over, but I know where I belong. And it's time I moved along. Still I would not be this strong if not for you. I walked along your streets in a poet's haze, felt safe within your borders, and I fell in love with every passing face, until I felt my heart burst, and I knew that I belonged. Though I would be moving on, still I would not be this strong if not for you. If not for you. If not for you with your thorny crown, you with your beautiful sound, you never looking down when I struck out all around. And when at last our paths do cross again, I hope we will be bolder, reach out across the past to a cherished friend, more lovely as we're older, 'cause I know that we belong, though we both are moving on. Still I would not be this strong if not for you. And I know that we belong, though we all must move along. Still there would not be this song. If not for you. I can't hear you. Everyone.
There you go. Sorry, I just I pushed the
Oh,
wrong
okay,
button.
that's fine.
That's lovely, man.
Thanks.
Now that I heard a little bit of distortion now from
Okay.
the compressor.
Just in my.
But this is exactly like what is such a learning opportunity when we're doing stuff like this, and through this, like through my streams, I've been making so many mistakes all the time. I think I have not had yet one stream out of the probably 20 or 30 streams I've done that have been technologically perfect. I'm always
Well,
like,
that's how you learn, you know. I mean,
yeah.
you learn from the errors. Yeah,
I'm always making mistakes, like forgetting to mute, forgetting to put this on, put that on.
Yeah.
And I think that's basically how you grow, right?
Yep,
I mean,
absolutely. It's how I've grown.
yeah. I really like. There's only one type of person I genuinely dislike.
Mhm.
And it's like these people that never fail, never do anything wrong, that everything is right, everything
Do
is
they exist,
perfect.
or is that just their front? Because that sounds like Trump.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's it. People that never admit to
Yeah, yeah,
failures
yeah,
or
yeah.
or being flawed or making mistakes or own up to any of the responsibility.
I would say
That
that is their flaw.
yeah,
Yeah,
but it manifests
yeah.
in this judgmental
Yes, yes,
attitude,
yes,
this holier than thou, I'm better than
yes,
you,
yes.
and then they feel themselves in kind of a place to judge others.
Oh yeah, and to act on behalf of others, usually to the other's detriment.
And one thing about that, I've never heard a good like if I meet a songwriter whose songs I really love and like voice is beautiful and whatever they do is like everything they do is just awesome, like and it touches me. I've never heard a person like that um, criticize others, like put down their songs or like but
And
like usually the people that are the most kind of like trying to put others down and
are the
like
most insecure about
yeah,
their own work.
criticizing other
Yeah,
people's music or
sure,
voices or talent
sure.
are usually the least talented ones.
Or the most insecure ones. I mean, I
Yeah.
was one of those people. I got called on that when I was 17. MTV had just come out. I was sitting there with my girlfriend. I had a local band that was popular, but we weren't, at a level of commercial success. And I don't know what came on. I forget, Madonna or something had just come out. And I was just basically whatever played, I'd say, "Oh God, oh come on, oh our songs are better than that." And she looked at me and said, "First of all, would you shut up? And secondly, if you're so great, how come you're not on, the TV? They're on the TV. You're here in a living room, in a suburb." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right."
Oh, Brett, that's a gift.
Yes.
That's a gift.
Well,
That's
Oscar
such a
Oscar
gift.
Wilde says a true friend stabs you in the front, and she was a true friend. She was my love of the time, and she stabbed me in the front with the facts. She
Yeah,
held me to
that's
awareness and accountability.
and um, I mean, and it's like you're 17, you get this
Yeah.
kind of check. That's a gift for life, man.
Yep, it is,
Oh,
and I've kept
we
it.
have a saying. I don't know if you have this saying. We have a saying in Iceland. It's like a friend will help you move house,
Yes.
but a good friend will help you move a body.
That sounds like Icelandic, like early Viking humor.
It's
That's
classic
good.
stuff.
I like it. That is good. And somehow it's kind of charming coming from Iceland through you. If I heard it in the States, I'd be thinking mafia or current
Well,
administration.
it's so funny with Icelandic crime. It's just Icelandic
I
crime
like,
is
I
so
like Icelandic crime shows.
petty. The shows, yeah, I don't know,
Yeah,
like
well, you have this Scandinavian. I'm going to be very generalizing now. There's this kind of Scandinavian dark gray kind of brooding. The Bridge that was based in Denmark and Sweden. That series, and I watched one with a really cool actor who's kind of really. He's got big. Oh, he was just in the Eurovision film with.
oh, Will Ferrell? No,
Well,
wait.
Will Ferrell, the American, but the guy who was the head of the Eurovision.
Oh yeah, the guy,
He
yeah, yeah,
played
yeah.
this tough, this detective dealing in a small town murders, and there were decapitations. I mean, it was heavy, but it was gorgeous.
Yeah, these Scandinavian
Yeah,
crime
yeah, they're
stories
dark.
the dark, but
They
the
don't have
Icelandic
Disney endings.
real crime is just basically people like on drugs or
Yeah,
really drunk.
or enraged, and yeah,
Yeah, like they have grievances and issues, and
yes,
somebody like
yeah.
it's always something to do with being molested as children or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
There
so
was a.
it's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so like Icelandic crime is always kind of just sad rather than exciting, just like
Yeah, there's a story here. I don't know where we are in time, but 3 days ago now, the local. I followed the local news, and my computer translates it for me, and because my Danish is still pretty weak. And a young man, a 21-year-old man, had run down mother and daughter on their bicycles. And apparently, they were on the sidewalk with walking their bikes, and the daughter was killed, 5 years old, and the mother was in intensive care. I mean, a horrible thing. And immediately, the tone of the news is that, I mean, and he fled the scene. So this is, and I'm thinking, oh my God, as a parent, what a terrible thing that, how do you ever get over losing your child? And the guy flee. I also could empathize. Whatever happened, he struck these people and he ran. I mean, just the fear in this young guy. And and then, now I'm reading the news and the opinions, and it's like, this thug, this criminal, and I'm thinking, yes, he's accountable for what happened, and there will be an accounting. But I also have an empathy, like her life is over, his life, what are you going to do? In the States, you'd string him up, you put him away for life, How does that, can we think outside these old biblical, Old Testament, justice, revenge, this mentality that's been part of the patriarchal model since written history, and it's not doing us any good.
No.
It's not making a better world.
I felt that the Scandinavian view of rehabilitation rather than punishment is leagues superior to any other approach to criminal justice.
Absolutely. Well, they say in the U.S. prisons, you just come out a better criminal. It's a training program. That's your training program. Because you're so hardened.
Speaking of training, man, like you've influenced so many singer-songwriters. You've been a guiding presence and being in so many young aspiring singer-songwriters' lives and careers. Do you have a count? Like, I think it must be in the hundreds now already. The people
if you take everyone who's participated in the retreats is pushing 2,000 now. And then if I take all the bookings of festivals that I've been putting on and shows I've been putting on since I was 18, it's up to maybe 3,500, 4,000, and then.
It's amazing.
Yeah. 40 years. So it's not, when you stretch it out over 40 years, it's not as dramatic as it sounds, but I do love, I like to encourage people. In fact, I don't use the word teach. I use educator because educar, the Latin root, means to draw out. And I love that image. Draw it out, encouraging, come out and play. Here's some tools.
That's amazing. That's a really good way of seeing it.
Because for me, teaching was, standard model. They tell you what you're supposed to learn. You repeat it back the way they told you. You get you passing grade, and then you go on and become a good factory worker. And stay inside the lines and don't. Nothing against people who work in factories, but I'm saying you become a part of the system. Systematic thinking, following orders, not questioning authority, and I
absolutely abhor that.
Yeah,
that idea that. We're making cogs, and
yes.
You're not a good enough cog. You should be a better cog.
Yes, you don't color a tree purple. See my purple heart? I have a purple heart. Isn't that great? That's the other painting, in case your friend was asking about that one.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Leva and I got that one in a secondhand shop. Some local person who painted it. I just love the colors. I see your kids are back.
My kids are amazing.
Yeah.
They're so fun and loving.
They're the best.
I'm just going to grab one thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Blake, we're going to cook after.
A
miracle just happened. The smallest one, his name is Rever, which means fox. He's 5 months old now today, and he just took a shit, which is always a miracle in this home.
That's amazing. Like on a little potty thing, or like
no.
He just pooped. Yeah.
He just we always wait with bated breath for his shits, and then it just like.
I remember that I learned so much about poop as a dad. There was this color chart when he came home from the hospital. And showed that was amazing.
I've never seen that.
Oh yeah, in Denmark, and then it would say there won't be any scent at first, so don't worry about that. And then it will, and then when you start feeding them like food that we shouldn't probably be eating, if you're a vegan, you would agree. But I'm not, but there yet. But start getting meats and things, and then it starts to
Yeah, that's when it starts to stink.
Yeah, well, putrefy in your body, but
yeah.
I hope no one's having lunch while they're listening.
But man, I've discovered one thing about my boys, both of them.
Yeah.
When they were tiny, just drinking breast milk, and then when they were farting, they're just tiny little 3-4 month farts.
Yeah.
Such bad smell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can this tiny little this body, this tiny little thing
Have you ever owned a dog? Dog farts can be the worst.
Yeah, but they're eating like.
I know kibbles. It's terrible. Yeah, I know. They're not having breast milk.
But like breast milk, it's just like.
Yeah, I know.
And then my daughter, when she was tiny, she was farting, and it was just like yogurt. Just like
so boys are stinkier, is what you're saying?
I don't know. Yeah, my boys have both been way stinkier than my.
Oh, there you go.
Just something in the bacteria or something in their belly.
Yeah. You know, the thing with parenting that, I mean, I remember, because it's the biggest thing that ever happened to me. I mean, you know, I think a lot of parents would say that. Certainly, I was 47 when I became a father, so I had not planned to be a father. And I was thrilled, and I still am. And I used to see, I always liked kids. I always loved kids. But I would see parents in a restaurant, like, pick their little infant up and go, yeah, we need to change him. And I'd be like, whoa, did they just do that at the table? You know?
Yeah.
You know, a year later, we're in the cafe going, yep, need to change.
Yeah, that's, and it's so normal. Yeah.
It's just body function, but we're so hung up about it. You know, can't breastfeed in public. That's indecent. However, you can carry a gun, concealed weapon, because that's your right.
Well, man, I'm so glad you chose Europe.
Yeah, me too.
Because I mean, you're doing so much amazing work here for us.
Thank you, sir.
And,
are you gonna play us another song?
I saw there was one request.
Oh yeah, super.
So, I was just gonna play a song called "Ease Your Mind." It's one of my first ones.
Cool.
Should I just go solo?
Go ahead.
Do like this.
That's fine. Hey, wherever you want to put me.
Kind of cool. Just gonna mute you a little bit. Or I'm not. You know, you can go get coffee or something.
I'm good. You're fine.
I'm just solo. All right. He left you by the dusty roadside, and all he gave you was a short kiss goodbye. Your little heart almost burst into tears when he turned and went on his way. You could have had just 5 minutes more, but what the hell was he running for? But all your troubles and all your tears will soon get swept away. And so ease your mind, little girl, I say, ease your mind, little girl. And just ease your mind, little girl, it will all be fine if you ease your mind. La 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 la. Left her by the dusty roadside. You could have given her a better goodbye, you know, but overcome by shyness and insecurities, you just turned and went on your way. You walked that road and you hitched a ride. That beautiful girl, she will never be mine, you thought, but all your troubles and all your tears will soon get swept away. And so ease your mind, little boy, I say, ease your mind, little boy. And just ease your mind, little boy, it will all be fine if you ease your mind. La 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 la. 'Cause you both know it in your hearts that your souls were meant to meet. So just take it easy, it'll all be fine. Oh, let go of your worries and shine. Ease your minds, ease your minds. I say, ease your minds, little ones, will all be fine if you ease your minds, ease your minds. I say, ease your minds, little ones, little ones. It will all be fine if you ease your minds. La 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 la. Woo. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I
That was
love
lovely.
this. This is a really nice StreamYard. I like it.
Hmm. I do too. It feels very user friendly. I mean, you're controlling all the cool stuff that's happening, but it
it's
looks
like
great.
a one-stop shop. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And I am going to upgrade my setup. I'm going to seek an education from you and also from Magali.
Yeah. I like it. I like simple stuff. I like when people have actually put together some solution that is simple, user-friendly.
Yeah.
Well, Brett, I
Yep.
think we're coming to a close, but I'd love to have you back someday for another chat and see how things are going in Denmark and how things are going with your festivals and listening room retreats. And if there are any singer-songwriters out there, you would probably love to go to this site right here, listeningroomretreats.com. It's where Brett is like organizing all these retreats around the world, and it's amazing. I don't know how you have the energy to do this and how you have.
Well, I have
I'm
the
pretty
energy
good.
because I am doing absolutely what I love and what I felt called to do, and I finally, figured out how to do it. And I am excited to wake up. I'm also really excited to take a nap. I do both. But so there's no resistance to it. It's not work. It's works of heart. Was the original term I had for what I do. Works of heart. So
But
it's not labor. You have a question coming in?
No. It's just, oh man, it's just like I've done some organizing in the past for like events and stuff. But man, like you just like when I do this, I'm so wasted after that. It's so hard. Like just like one tiny event is like one little festival, and you like organize like a festival with hundreds of artists, and it's
Oh, listen, there were some, I had the duck theory. I look calm on the surface and paddle like hell underneath. There were some serious messes over the years. Again, learning experiences. But I've
of course.
always had people willing to come to my rescue when I would overextend. I would rather overextend and fall a little short, but further than if I'd taken the safe. They say shoot for the stars, hit the moon. So yeah, there's a balancing. And I'm still, it's constant balance as I remind myself and others who might be critical of things I'm doing. I say, balance is constantly in motion. It's finding the middle path, the middle way. So
that's it.
Yeah.
Well, my friend, it's been amazing to see you, make some FaceTime with you.
Lovely.
I'm gonna go join my family now, and
you do that. I'm gonna call my
some
kid.
coffee.
Yes. I finished the whole California mug. This is a serious triple espresso while I was sitting with you. So I won't be having more coffee today.
I'm gonna go fill this one up.
Very good.
Moomin Papa.
Very sweet.
I love him. He's looking at the stars. Was this a bindle and a stick and bindle?
Yeah. Stick and bindle. Bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the old hobo look. It's the old hobo.
Yeah. But he's more like an adventurer.
Yeah.
Well, guys, Brett and everyone watching, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our little conversation and the music and the kind of back and forth. And if you have comments on this, just like feel free to do it in the chat of the event or something. I'll look over it all and I welcome all feedback.
They can find me on Facebook if they want Brett Perkins Music. I didn't send you those links. I didn't think of it. But just Facebook, Brett Perkins Music, you'll find me. And the same with the retreats. So I've got Facebook pages for all the different projects. So
wonderful. And check out Brett's music.
Daddy, you get off. Yeah, now she's looking serious. Like, come on, Daddy.
Oh, she said, she's got a grim
face.
She's
got the serious face.
to cry.
It was nice to meet you. I'm going to leave now and quit bothering your daddy. Yeah, tell that guy to go. Come on.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, it's 1.5 hours. All right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
guys, check out Brett, and yeah, leave comments in the Facebook event, and I hope I don't know if this chat was actually relayed to your Facebook page as well. I
I'm
hope.
going to check after and see what's there and share it if I can. And yeah.
Perfect. Well, Brett, thank you, man. I'll see you
Thank
soon
you.
again.
I hope so.
Bye.
Bye-bye.